Hey, my name is Terrell Harris, and this is
Brooke Harris.
And we are the leadership team of the Open Box, where our vision is to
make wholeness more
accessible. So, today we're going to discuss whether or not men and women can have platonic relationships.
Can they be friends?
I'm not sure. What do you think?
Well, I just want to say, first of all, I'm standing on a book. I'm that short. I'm standing on a book. But anyway.
I'm kind of slouching a little bit otherwise.
But, so you said you're not sure?
No, I'm not sure. So, like, as it relates to, I guess, men and women being in a committed relationship, can they have friends outside of the opposite sex? Mm-hmm. I think potentially it can work, but I think there has to be some boundaries set up. Typically because, you know, with men and women, they tend to get attracted to each other, especially physically, maybe even mentally or emotionally. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Well, my answer would be the same if they were in a relationship or not with a different person. So
you said regardless, you're saying men and women can't.
I didn't even answer yet, though.
Oh.
I'm just saying that my answer is the same, which I don't really have an answer, but I lean toward no, because I think that there needs to be boundaries. I think there has to be, you have to be clear on how you feel about that person. And if you notice things starting to shift, you got to pay attention to that stuff, because a lot of times, like, I've been in situations where the other person's feelings started to shift and I didn't know it, and I'm stuck with where I was, which was as a friend, and this person instead had feelings. So that changes the dynamic, because now, are we friends if you have feelings for me, or are we friends if I have feelings for you?
I don't know. I think you could shut them down. I think I've actually became friends with females after having a slight interest in them, and then they diss me, or they didn't really necessarily like me. So, but after that, if the person shuts it down in the right way, or shuts it down in a way where the other person knows there's no chance, I think there's a potential for a platonic relationship to happen. But then what happens, or at least what I've noticed that happens, is once somebody gets in a committed relationship, that other friend always takes a step back, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that's different. And sometimes people take a step back, or they'll be like, oh, I'm going to respect your relationship, so I'm going to change how you and I interact. But I think shutting it down, or you're talking about getting rejected, that doesn't always work, because sometimes it's hard for people to let go of those feelings that they have. But I think you just kind of have to really communicate about, what this friendship is, and know within yourself, because I think it's so easy for things to cross. Because if you and I are friends and I'm talking to you and I'm sharing things with you, well, now we're creating a sense of intimacy.
Yeah, don't be sharing no intimate stuff with no other dudes. That's a no-no. I put things in check. Go ahead.
Anyway, so I think it's important for that to happen, where you're paying attention to what you're sharing, how you're sharing it, what you do together, because it's easy. Like I said, it's easy to be emotionally attracted to each other as well as physically attracted to each other. And I don't think that matters if you're in a relationship with somebody else or not, because I mean, people cheat. You know what I'm saying? It happens.
So, what are your ideas about having, when you're married in a committed relationship, what are your ideas about having friends of the opposite sex? I
mean, I think you can. I'm not saying you can't have them. I say I lean toward no, because I don't know how, I don't know that it will 100% work out unless there's a lot of boundaries where, I'm in a relationship with you, or I'm single and I'm not going to go out with you every Friday. If I don't go out with you every Friday, that's almost like we're dating. Like, you know what I mean?
So basically you're saying it works with boundaries.
Absolutely. Okay. It has to have boundaries. Sometimes they have to be very explicit and communicated. Other times you might not do that, but you have to have them within yourself, or else that line gets blurred so easily.
Yeah, I think going into a relationship, I think old, like at least for me, old female friends may work. A lot of people, or some people, tend to take a step back. What happens is, I think you'll know who your true friends are, and then you'll know who may be on the fence a little bit, because when we got together, some people took a step back, and then some people just faded out completely, and then other people, other females kind of remained the same. But even still, there was boundaries.
Right.
And it's not like I was kind of hanging out with these females every week or anything like that anyway, so I don't think there was much to worry about from at least our perspective.
Yeah, but again, you know, not everybody's like that, and I just think you really have to pay attention to yourself, what this relationship is, because a lot of times with platonic relationships, people will see them as a way to get what they want, that they're not getting, which is the thing that they really want. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. So basically, they'll try to. I like to call it the relationship robot. They try to get their pieces of a relationship from other aspects of other people. So, say for instance, if you didn't like to cook and I had a coworker bring me breakfast or something like that, right?
She better be bringing us both breakfast. Okay. No, really, I heard her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess the thing is not to actually. If there are things missing with your spouse or the person that you're in a relationship with, don't try to satisfy those needs with an outside person or an outside friend, or especially not one of the opposite sex, maybe not even one of the same sex. But even,
and the same for when you're single. It's both. I think when you're single, you have to be careful of those platonic relationships too, because you could be trying to satisfy the fact that you want a mate.
True.
And so you're going to do this with this person. So you got to be careful of that too.
True. So what do you want to say in summary then?
In summary.
Don't be friends with the same sex? No?
In summary, have boundaries.
Yes.
Be cautious. It can work. A lot of times it might not.
No, but Brooke is actually right. It's okay to set up boundaries, and it's actually okay to establish relationship guidelines. I think over time, men and women don't necessarily talk about the details of the relationship, and that's why I guess it tends to get a little gray sometimes. So like she said, have boundaries and actually talk about the relationship, and you know, I think draw those lines early. Like if you have no interest in this individual outside of just a straight friendship, and you have no ideas of, you know, maybe getting into a relationship with an individual, just say so. And then, you know, you put that on the table, you stand firm. Even then, sometimes feelings may shift.
Right.
But you have to be open and honest about that stuff.
Absolutely.
So that is it. What we want you to do is comment below. We want you to tell us about your experiences with relationships of the opposite sex. Do they work? Have they worked out when you were in a relationship with somebody? Have they worked out when you were single? Comment below and also subscribe to the channel. We need more subscribers. And if you have any more questions, visit us at theopenbox.com.
Peace.
Peace.